What is going on, everybody? It is Alex coming back at you with another video, and today we are going to be doing a recap of free agency day one. Put a hell of a lot of work into this, so hopefully you guys do enjoy. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. This is updated as of about 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, so this may be a little bit different by tomorrow, but of course, if anything changes, we're going to continue updating this and probably highlighting the new players that come on each day so we can actually track what happens during the legal tampering period. So, of course, if you guys do like this stuff, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, join the community. All the links down in the description below because it's awesome and I love it and I'm very proud of it. So feel free to stick around. Let's kick this off and let's have a good time. Starting off with the NFC North, you guys might realize that this is a similar graphic to what I used with the 7-round mock. Well, you can thank me for putting all the hours in for that to be able to build this a little bit easier. Let's talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers here. Mitch Trubisky, Chukwuma Okorafor, both are the big names of the day. Mitch Trubisky was known for a 2-year contract. The specific numbers are not out yet, but Chukwuma Okorafor did have an official number, 3 years, $29.25 million. So overall, I gave this a B. I think Mitchell Trubisky got a lot of hate, especially from me when I first saw it, because it's like, you get that idea. You think about Deshaun Watson on this team, and then you hear Mitchell Trubisky, and it's like your expectations up here, sky high. And then obviously it's Mitchell Trubisky who got kicked off like one of the worst teams in the league. So yeah, there is that like, I'm not a huge fan of that move. But when you think about it, it's a 2-year deal, which means that they're still possibly going to take a quarterback this year or next year. And again, it's a lot better than what we have. It's a guarantee that at least we can do something. And I'm honestly a big fan of that. You know, I think that this might be a way to see if the Steelers can adapt to a more of a mobile scheme. Because if you're going to have Mitch be a pocket quarterback, we'll also see whether Tomlin and the Pittsburgh organization can adjust to something like a more of a mobile scheme. They're getting the offensive line for it. That was something that was a telltale sign that the Steelers were looking more towards mobility than anything. Obviously, Kendrick Green versus, I bug every time on the guy's name. The kid out of Whitewater last year. That is literally a perfect example of the Steelers not going after your standard Steelers offensive lineman and going for more someone who with a bit more mobility. And it makes sense. It makes sense that they're going this route rather than Jimmy G. So again, we don't know the numbers yet. If it's under 15 million a year or 15, I think I'll be perfectly happy. If it ends up randomly getting dark, that's because there's a nice little crazy thunderstorm outside. So you guys get to enjoy that with me. But yeah, Chukwuma Okorafor, that's a really, really tough deal to deal with. But again, the salary cap's going up and it's always offensive line. So I'm not going to bust it too much. If it was just solely Mitch, I'd probably go a B+, because again, it's better than what we had. And then, but Chukwuma Okorafor's contract brought it down a little bit. Next, we got the Baltimore Ravens that did not do anything today. So there you go. Cincinnati Bengals, they got BJ Hill re-signed today, 3 years, $30 million. Y'all told me that they're going to go BJ Hill over Larry O. You guys were right. So thank you guys for, again, like you can comment stuff like that as long as you guys aren't douchebags about it. I love it. Hey, I'm perfectly happy being wrong because that means I'll be right next time. And that's all I really care about. I care about being right in the long run because it makes my videos a lot better for you guys and for me. Next, you got AlexCBarbour here, 4 years, $40 million. Again, for the price tag, you can't really complain too much. I was just praying that you guys wouldn't be cheap and you guys would go and try to sell the house for Brandon Scherff. Still a pretty damn solid move. Ted Karras is a phenomenal center, especially for $6 million a year. Like, I think that's absolutely phenomenal. If you guys see lightning bolts, it's because I'm about to get zapped here. So nice. We got Cleveland Browns. They didn't do anything. They released Jarvis Landry today. So I'm more so focusing on the acquisitions rather than the departures. Then we got the NFC North, and my God, this image is just so badass. I had to put it everywhere I could. Larry Ogunjobi is a freaking badass. Chicago Bears getting him, I think, is a phenomenal. It was a phenomenal deal. The guy did pretty damn well last year with the Bengals. He's just been very solid his entire career. And yeah, it's a little bit expensive, and you're getting rid of Eddie Goldman, but I think that's still a very solid contract overall. 3 years again, you know, that's a pretty damn standard length for a D tackle. And Larry Ogunjobi could actually make a real difference at the next level. So that's a good way to start out, especially since there's going to be like 120 million in cap the next season. So I dig it. Next, you got the Green Bay Packers, got Devondre Campbell and Preston Smith back. Zadarius Smith with a 27 mil cap hit. I respect it. I love what they did here. You know, Devondre Campbell, that was a good deal. I'm probably going to bump that up to an A- or an A. You know, both are really good deals. There's not really an acquisition. It's more of a retention move. So that's why I can't really push it into the really good category. Overall, I actually did like it quite a bit. Now we got the Detroit Lions here, and you know, they brought on quite a few people today. Jalen Elliott, Sean Dion Hamilton were not described online, just through a tweet from the Detroit Lions. Then you got Alex Anzalone, of course, CJ Moore, and Tracy Walker with official contracts. You guys see him right there. I'm giving a C+. Tracy Walker was a bit of an overpay, even though I do like him. It's honestly not that big of a bunker buster for me. I just was wishing that they would go after actual free agents rather. Again, retention moves are way more boring to me. So I think this team needed to acquire rather than retain. That's why I'm going to knock them down a little bit. Then you got the Minnesota Vikings. Did not do anything today. Unfortunate. And, you know, that is the way it is. Now let's go to the AFC South. You see the guy who's on here. You guys know what's up. Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm giving them an A-, even though they went balls to the wall and overpaid like a mofo on Christian Kirk. That was insane. Like when I saw that, I was like, no. That was a typo. It must have been max $64 million. No, he's getting paid, I think, what, $18 million a year with upside for 21. I'm hoping it works. I really am. And, you know, I just don't think it does, but I'm very happy to be wrong. Foyesade Oluokun. I know a lot of people didn't like that deal. I'm actually a huge fan of it. I think that's a phenomenal deal. So I'm a big fan of Foyesade. That's just me. Brandon Scherf, we don't know. It's going to be a big ass contract though. But again, I'm all in on that. Fatukasi, for that price, absolutely phenomenal. And then Evan Ingram, people were shitting on it. I think that's a phenomenal deal as well. So overall, I'm giving it A- solely because of Christian Kirk's bitch ass contract. Let's go to the Indianapolis Colts next. And you know what? I want to toss it in. Reggie Wayne became the wide receiver coach today. I think that's a phenomenal move. And then Mo Alley-Cox got re-signed. Unfortunately, he lost Mark Lewinsky to the Giants, which we'll talk about soon. But I mean, overall, that's pretty damn solid. I think Mo Alley-Cox for $6 million a year, when you don't really have much else besides Kylan Granson, is a phenomenal get. Oh wow, I am so used to mock drafts. Next to the Houston Texans, I give him a D just because it's like they did pretty much nothing. Anthony Auclair, like cool. He had like a 4K image that I got to remove the background on. There you go. I want to give it an F because they haven't done jack and they really do need to. They also waived Marcus Cannon. I'm a little bit disappointed. Tennessee Titans, I gave them a C+ because they kind of like lost a lot of pieces and they replaced it with Jamarco Jones, who was a former Seattle Seahawks offensive lineman. And why? Like Seattle Seahawks offensive line. That's like the worst thing about the Seattle Seahawks. So yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that. And then Ben Jones, I was a huge fan of that. The only reason I gave it a C+ is because of Ben Jones, who I'm a huge fan of. Next, we got the NFC South coming up and starting off with Deontay Harris. Yeah, you got a second round RFA tender. It wasn't a retention move. It just was, I wanted to put something here for the Saints. So yeah, NA there, but Carlton Davis got brought back on a 3-year, $45 million deal. Again, this is not retroactive. I know that, or retrospective. Yeah, retrospective. Regardless, we aren't looking back. So yeah, obviously I know that Ryan Jensen was brought back, and that would honestly probably push this to an A+. Losing Alex Kappa certainly hurts, but this is actually a pretty good guard class. So I think that would be pretty solid. Carlton Davis for that price is a A+ move. And everybody was saying, we're shitting on me for saying that they're going to bring back Carlton Davis. Where are you at now? That's all I got to say. Jake Matthews is next. 3 years, $55 million extension. Not really. It's not even really a retention move. They just modified his contract for a pretty solid Pro Bowl level tackle. I thought that they might even cut him if they wanted to make cap because, again, he was a pretty big hit against cap. But, again, I will never, ever fault a team for going this way. Pretty expensive. They didn't do anything big so far on day one. So I'm going to give them a B overall. Then you got the Carolina Panthers, which I forgot to put an image in for. Love it. Regardless, Xavier Woods, Austin Corbett, I give that an A-. I don't know what Austin Corbett's contract is. It came out 2 minutes ago. But regardless, as long as it's under $15 million a year, which it will be, pretty big fan of it. Xavier Woods is the only player in the NFL who played every snap on defense for his team last year. Absolutely love what they did right there. Honestly, I want to boost it up higher. Just again, they also cut two. They've lost 3 of their corners in the past 24 hours. So that's a big oof. Then we got the AFC East. starting off with the New England Patriots, who did nothing, and then the New York Jets getting CJ Uzomah, which for those people who tried to kill me for talking about CJ Uzomah not going to be on the Bengals, where you at now? Braxton Berrios, who is, I mean, my only reason I'm giving this a B+ is because you spent money on guys like Braxton Berrios and CJ Uzomah that you could have used for Fatukasi, who I think who's more of an impact. That being said, Braxton is a bit underrated, pretty damn good returner as well. Laken Tomlinson, pretty damn solid guard. So I'm not a fan of, I mean, I am pretty big fan of what they did. Again, a B+ is not too shabby. Then the Miami Dolphins, I love what they've been doing. Chase Edmonds, I mean, for that deal, I think that's phenomenal. I was thinking about going Breece Hall for them in the draft, and I think Chase Edmonds perfectly completes what Breece Hall would bring to the table. You want to get someone like Zamir White, Britton Brown later on to be your Malcolm Brown role, do it. But you've solved your running back in the short term, and next year you can also get another running back. Emmanuel Ogbah is next. Yeah, I'm a pretty big fan of that deal right there. It's a bit expensive, but man, he's been a big guy on that defense. Big fan of that. Cedric Wilson, another one of my favorite signings today. When Christian Kirk's getting $18 million a year flat, this guy ended up being a lot cheaper, and he's a really, really, really good asset. I love him. And then you got Teddy Bridgewater, which at the time the contract is unknown, but obviously it could definitely be fixed. It will be fixed by tomorrow. But yeah, Teddy Bridgewater, I absolutely love it. So overall, I'm giving this an A+, like just super solid move. If they get to get Lyle Collins as well, sign me up for that. Then we got the Buffalo Bills. You got Mitch Morse and Tim Settle here. I think both of those are phenomenal. Again, if you ever see an unknown at the moment, it's unknown. Doesn't mean it will be unknown when you see it. But I think those are both phenomenal moves. Tim Settle actually pairing back up with Tremaine Edmonds. It's pretty cool, I guess. But God, wow, I'm super in mock draft mode. Yeah, NFC East now. Let's talk about it. Washington Commanders haven't done anything today, but Dallas Cowboys, they actually extended DeMarcus Lawrence on a 3-year $40 mil contract, which is pretty dirt cheap. And for a team that continues to sign guys for less than honestly people expect for the Cowboys, they're doing something that's different. And I hope that they could probably retool that thinking and put it for all the guys going forward. Like if you're able to get guys on good value contracts like DeMarcus Lawrence is on right now, I think that would be a big plus, like save you from going another Zeke Elliott move. So the future might be brighter in Dallas. That's why I'm saying. And I'm hoping so because I literally live here. But next, you got Philadelphia Eagles getting Hassan Reddick. I know a lot of people shit on this deal, but I don't care. I love Hassan Reddick. He's coming back to Philly. And honestly, I think the amount is awesome. You know, I'm just a huge fan. Big plus for this team. Then you got New York Giants going Mark Lewinsky, Robert Foster here. I don't know about Robert Foster's deal, but I know Glowinski's on that type of contract. Giving it a B+ because I still think they should have made some bigger moves. But still, you got a big thumbs up from me for getting Mark Lewinsky. I love that. It might even be an A or an A- just because you're investing in that offensive line. Now we're coming close to the end. NFC West here. Niners did not do anything today. Seahawks, you got Will Dissly, Quandre Diggs, Al Woods, Sidney Jones. I mean, I honestly probably should have boosted that up to a B- after Sidney Jones because I think it's a big plus. But yeah, Quandre Diggs, he's a big part of the team. It's just Al Woods and Will Dissly. No disrespect to those guys, but I just don't think they provide the value that you're paying them. You know, Will Dissly is going to be tight end 2 at best on your team. That's not worth $8 million a year. And Al Woods, I mean, again, it's pretty minute, but you're spending money in places that might not give you the best return apart from Sidney Jones. Now you got Los Angeles Rams bringing back 2 offensive linemen. I'm going to give that actually a B. I'm actually going to give it an A. I probably forgot to update the overall grade, but still, I'm going to give that an A overall. Joseph Noteboom and Brian Allen being brought back is a huge plus for a team where the offensive line is a big concern. So very happy with that. Then you got Arizona Cardinals, James Conner, Colt McCoy, then Dennis Gardeck, a special teamer, got paid $4 million a year. Colt McCoy, it's a backup quarterback. And then James Conner got paid more than Chase Edmonds. That's what I really didn't like. So that's why I'm giving it a C+. You're paying $4 million to a special teamer, and that just kind of sucks. Again, it could have been a lot worse. Some other teams have graded even worse. Then let's go to the AFC West, and Kansas City Chiefs have not done anything today, but Chargers, JC Jackson. People try to shit on me because I heard that there was that JC Jackson was at LAX, and everybody was saying that was some BS. It wasn't. He was there with the Chargers doing some contract talk, and well, he's there. 5 years, $85 million. That's a phenomenal deal. It's actually, I think, 82.5. That's on me. 82.5 because it's 16.5 a year. I'm a huge fan of the deal. So yeah, 82.5 million. That's on me, guys. But big fan of what that is. Vegas Raiders haven't done anything, obviously, since the Max Crosby signing. And now they did the Denver Broncos. So that's going to be all for day one. This will all, of course, be fully updated tomorrow with day two. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you on the far side. Peace.